Well, how you doing? David Locke here in Denver. Just got back from a shoot around. Want to give you a few updates. The best news: talked to Gary Briggs, Jazz trainer. Everyone's ready to go and healthy. That includes C.J. Miles and Al Jefferson's hands, so no injuries right out of the shoot. Talked to George Karl for a long time. That interview will be coming up on 1320 KFan, and then in addition, just off mic, George talked. He's done a huge amount of reading about food and this, believing that some of the stuff we're putting into our food systems are causing the cancer, the rise in brain cancer since sugar additives. It was just we really kind of held court for a long, long time. His voice is not quite right coming back from the throat cancer that George Karl missed all of last year's playoffs with. And he did have some interesting comments about those playoffs, so feel free to check that out. But just very interesting comments. Talking about the rise in throat cancer. He had basically what is the same thing as smoker's cancer, but he doesn't never smoked anything in his entire life and never chewed tobacco. So just an epidemic that's rising, and the amount of cancers and certain types of cancers. He had some interesting points in regards to how certain countries don't have certain types of cancer, leading him to believe it's diuretic or possibly genetic. But just very interesting to see. Here's a basketball coach going on his 20-plus opening day, but it's been dealing with a much larger issue. We'll have the head coach Jerry Sloan show at 5:30 today. This will be his 22nd opening day with the Utah Jazz. We'll get his thoughts, and obviously with his passing of his wife Bobby, I think he'll have more appreciation of what George has been through to be back on the sidelines. A few news notes for you. Gordon Hayward's got his family, mom and dad, coming into town for his rookie debut. He's got a new haircut that you'll see on television tonight if you're watching Craig and Matt on FSN. Hopefully you're tuning in to me and Ron on radio as well. Otherwise, we'll see who gets the first big, whether it's Francisco Elson or whether it's Kirill Fasenko. You'll find out whether or not it's Ronnie Price or if it's Earl Watson. So those are some of the things early. Our storylines on the radio broadcast today dealing with Carmelo, something the Jazz have struggled with in the last two outings. He's been over 30 points in the last two regular season games. Was obviously brilliant during the playoffs as well against the Jazz. Andre Karolinko, who could not guard him during the playoffs due to injury, will get the opening mark on Carmelo. It'll be interesting if Andre gets into foul trouble. The Jazz get very, very thin in the front court tonight, power forward wise. So we'll see how that plays out. Though Al Harrington's going to get a lot of moments at the power forward for Denver tonight because they're thin without Kenyon Martin, without Chris Anderson, meaning that Andre may be even more important in that regard to be playing the second big, playing with the big. So a lot of different things playing in. The Chauncey Billups matchup with Darren Williams. I had an interesting conversation with Chauncey. I'll get that in for the broadcast for you, which is very complimentary of Darren. How cerebral he was as a rookie, which led him to know that Darren was going to be a real star. So that was an early notice for him. We'll let you hear from that. So a lot of interesting things here from Denver. Hope you appreciate the just quick little update. Don't have a lot for you today. But we'll keep you updated throughout the year. Make sure you check out Locked On Jazz. I'm publishing a new game day sheet. It takes a long time, so hopefully we'll be able to keep that up throughout the year for you, which has all kind of the special stats and cringing grin and all those kind of things. So check that out as well. Have a good one. Opening night. Fired up. Let's go Jazz.